JD.com. Everything is on sale for huge fall savings. Get up to $6,000 off a new Dodge Journey. Save big on Charger or Challenger. Save even more with 0% for 60 months. Our lenders are standing by to make you a new car loan today. Bring us your trade and get more for it. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. Just honest and friendly service you can count on. 9600 Atlantic Boulevard, across from the Regency Square Mall.
I'm a lemon pepper guy.
I'm a lemon pepper guy.
I'm a lemon pepper gal.
You know who it is, and I'm a lemon pepper guy. Leon Searcy here for Wingstop. Come on, man. It's football season, and these guys have the best wings in town. Use the app and have it delivered right to your home or business. 5 locations, open until midnight, all season long. Serving up lemon pepper or any of your favorite mouth-watering flavors. Wingstop.com.
Can't stop. Wingstop.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer Gainswave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. Gainswave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the Gainswave ED treatment today.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Bradley Ashmore, a senior football player and track and field athlete at Fletcher High. Bradley is headed to Vanderbilt University. Congratulations, Bradley.
If you're an experienced welder or pipe fitter, Local 234 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters is looking for you now. They provide competitive pay and great benefits that are no cost to you. That's $29.84 an hour, and with those benefits, you'll be earning $44 an hour. Join an organization with thousands of members that have the same goal as you, to get the job done right. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hey Jacksonville, Safety Tom here with Remedy Staffing. With the heat blazing, it's time to break out the cold water, fruits, and veggies. Put away the large hot meals for lunch, and grab some shade in a nice cool area during breaks at work. If you're new to the job, pace yourself. This goes for at home as well. Long days at the beach, kids' sporting events, doing work around the house. Keep the water flowing for you and your family. And remember, don't wait until you're thirsty. Drink plenty, early, and often. These are just a few simple tips for staying cool and hydrated from Remedy Staffing.
Word is out that Mavis Discount Tire has a huge selection of brand name tires at discount prices. But did you know that Mavis is also home to the $99 brake special? That's right, Mavis Discount Tire also offers discounted prices on brake services. Have front or rear premium quality Wagner brake pads installed for only $99.99. Yes, new brakes for $99.99, including labor. Come in today and save. Offer applies to most cars. Other fees may apply.
Instant Keys offers honest professional locksmith service for lost, broken, or spare keys. Call Instant Keys at 722-1111. Get dealer-level service in just minutes at a fraction of the cost. 722-1111.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Mark Anajar from the Law Office of Anajar and Levine. Notifying the police is always a good idea. They can assist in documenting the accident and being a good source of information. Always put your health first and get medical attention if necessary. Take pictures if possible. If you've been in an accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Minshew drops to throw. Looks, fires deep downfield. That is going to be intercepted. It is picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. He wanted DJ Chark. He's going to pick it off near the 40-yard line of the Saints.
That was the one play that, from the eye test, it looked like the guy was open. That's to me, it looked like. Now you don't know if he's open. I didn't see him until the ball got on him, but there was a miscommunication snafu, obviously, between the two of them. So many thoughts here. Hayes, are the Jags not very good? Have they lost? I mean, they've played three really good teams pretty close. Are they average? Do you expect it to turn around when they start playing teams that aren't quite as good? Where do you see this whole thing?
I think that they're an average team. I don't think that they're I don't think they're worse than that, and I don't think they're anything spectacular. But average teams can get rolling. They haven't had a lot of breaks. I mean, look, going into the year, the two most important players on the roster were Nick Foles and Jalen Ramsey.
Correct.
They've had Nick Foles for 11 snaps, and they haven't had Jalen Ramsey for the last 3 games. That's tough to overcome. That would be for any team. And I still believe in Gardner Minshew. I still believe in DJ Chark. It seems like they're in that sort of difficult purgatory where they can't get it all synced up right. Doug Marrone had his conference call with us about an hour ago, and that was one of his points is, the offense plays great last week, but the defense doesn't come to play. Defense plays great this week, but the offense isn't there. And it's trying to get, it's trying to get it synced up so that you can win these games. They've been very close. They're not getting takeaways. I don't think that lasts all year. I think at some point the law of averages catches up, although said that a lot last year and it never really did. But they are due to get some takeaways. I think that starts Sunday in Cincinnati. So I think I look at it as it's incredibly concerning that they're 2-4 through 6. But I really believe they can be 5-4 coming out of the bye. I think they can beat Cincinnati, who they are better than Cincinnati. The Jets all of a sudden could be tricky because Sam Darnold looked great yesterday, and the Jets cut Luke Falk. We talk about these backup quarterbacks that are having success. Well, he was so good that the second that Darnold was back, they cut him, which makes it inexplicable that they started him for as many games as they did. But, so you look at the Jets' struggles, was that all because they just didn't have a backup at all that should be in the NFL? So the Jets may be a little trickier of an out, but we'll see. I still like the Jaguars, at least, potentially in that game. And then I think when you go to London, all bets are off. I mean, Gardner Minshew's never been there either, so that kind of negates your advantage that you've had where at least your starting quarterback has been on that trip, when it was Blake. So, but I still think the lion's share of the Jaguars roster has experienced that trip, and it's not going to faze them. There is very few, if any, members of the Houston Texans that have done the trip. And so I still think it's an edge for the Jaguars. I don't know that it's an incredible edge. And the first meeting was very close. So I think you factor all that in, and I think the Jaguars can get to 5-4. Frankly, they better get to 5-4 or it's over.
It is interesting how one game can change the narrative and the conversation, whereas last week most of us were saying it's Minshew's team, it's Minshew's starting role, regardless of when Nick Foles is able to return healthy, and now all of a sudden the passing game was so ineffective that you absolutely change your thought process on that. But the run game, for the third straight week, Leonard Fournette goes over 100 yards. He did it against a team that hadn't allowed a rusher to do that in 31 games. I thought Fournette ran hard yesterday. I thought he had great vision. So there at least was a bright spot offensively, and I think if he can continue to do that, especially against teams like the Bengals and the Jets, they certainly, and the Texans, they have a better chance.
I thought Fournette ran hard too. I think he's playing pretty well. I think he's running. He's not a make a miss guy. He's just not. But I think he's running hard too. And I said about the Minshew thing. Oh, do you bench Minshew? Do you bring Foles back? It's way too. I said this last week, the week before. Way too early. Way too much is going to happen between now and when Nick can play again. Minshew's going to have a great game, and people are going to say he's a quarterback forever. He's going to have a bad game, and people are going to say put Foles back in. Way too much. There's no way of knowing that. I still hold on to this with this team, and that is, and I'm a positive guy, and I'm a glasses half full guy, and that's kind of the way I think. But I do think I think the Saints have a good team. Now, they're better when Drew Brees gets back, right? Because they're more explosive offensively. I think they're 5-1. It's a hard league to be 5-1 in. It's the National Football League. 6 games in is a decent sample size. It's not 2 games in. They're 5-1 in a good league, and then the better of the 2 conferences. The Panthers are pretty good. They're not great, but it's hard. It's a hard league to be 4-2 in. Obviously, the Texans are pretty good because they're beating decent. That's a good team they beat yesterday.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kansas City.
Yeah, they lost to both the Colts and the. So for me, again, I'm not saying the Jags are good yet. We'll figure that out. I do think they'll beat the Bengals. I don't know that they've got to be 5-4 or the season's over. I do think they need to get to 4-4. I think if you don't get to 4-4 halfway through, the season's over. I came into the season thinking with a Ramsey playing all the games and Foles playing all the games, they could be a 9 or 10 win team. I believe that. Well, like you said, they don't have Foles or Ramsey. I find, again, I'll feel better when they play Cincinnati. Now, they've got to find themselves offensively a little bit. And it's hard to say they're better on offense or they're worse on defense because it changes every week. The bottom line is you assess an NFL team by how it all comes together. That's how you assess an NFL team, not they're good at this or bad at this.
It's hard to say any team is good when they're that inconsistent. That's where this team is right now.
Yeah, and again, I think we said before the season, try and get to 3-3 because the early part of the schedule is pretty tough. And we thought the trip to Carolina was going to be pretty tough because of Cam Newton, but we thought it'd be pretty tough. We thought the home game against New Orleans would be pretty tough because of Drew Brees. But we still said before the season, 3-3 is a pretty good start because the schedule is going to get easier after that.
And it's hard for me to say, well, the Jaguars should beat teams with backup quarterbacks. The Jaguars are a team with really a backup quarterback, so everybody's on an even playing field.
Yeah, but if the Saints are 4-0 with Bridgewater and the Panthers are 4-0 with Kyle Allen, they obviously don't have a problem at quarterback. Regardless of whether you knew the guy's name or not, there's obviously not a problem there. They wouldn't be 4-0, okay? I'll say it again. The 4 quarterbacks you've lost to, Mahomes, Watson, Allen, and Bridgewater, are 16-4 this year. 16-4 in the National Football League is pretty good. So they're playing some pretty good guys. They just got to kind of find themselves. A bunch of thoughts I've got. Is there a way to defend the Jags, and this is now a blueprint for it? Or are the Saints just good at it? Or is there now more tape available on Minshew, so now you know how to defend him? I'm not a smart enough football guy to know those answers, but I know those are the questions we'll ask. Cincinnati's going to win. I don't think Cincinnati's going 0-16. They're beating somebody, and that's a home game for them, so I don't think it's a gimme, but I think the Jags will win that game. I'm not as concerned about the Jets as you are. That's a home game. I think the Jags will play well at home in that game. I hope they do. I think yesterday for me, Darnold had a wonderful game. Darnold played very well. He's a guy I liked in the draft. I liked him more than Rose and any of those guys. I told you that. I thought he might be the best guy in that draft that year. But I'm not worried about the Jets. I think yesterday, despite the fact that Darnold had a nice game statistically, is more about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in that was fast. That meltdown happened fast, and I think that's all about the Cowboys meltdown.
Doesn't that always happen under Jason Garrett at some point in the season?
It does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it really does. So for me, but I think the defense will be okay. The Jags have to find some offense through the passing game, and hopefully yesterday will be a little bit of a fluke, the fact that they didn't score a touchdown. Here's the bottom line. We'll know way more about them when they get on the plane for London. When we get on that plane on that Thursday night and fly overnight to London, we'll know way more about who they are. I do agree they need to win those 2 games. You got to get to London 4-4 because if you go there 3-5 playing a good Texans team, it's now hard to generate any momentum. I really believe that. But I don't think the Falcons are very good. I don't think the Raiders are very good. The Bengals obviously aren't very good. The Chargers, who are all the rage, obviously. You watched them last night?
I did.
They're no good. So there's a bunch of teams that are supposed to be good that are no good. So we'll see. Let me get to Jalen Ramsey for a second. It's now obvious he doesn't want to play, right? It's now obvious he doesn't want to play. I thought the Big Cat Country guys did a nice job in that story. I retweeted the story. I thought it was a good story. It took kind of the emotion out of it. And it said, kind of, here's the situation. Alfie, I think, wrote that story. I know it was on Big Cat Country, but I think Alfie wrote the story. He made a good point. He said, Jalen probably is hurt. The back probably is hurt, but it's probably something you try and play through if you're not going through this other stuff. And that's probably the issue. It's not that he's not hurt at all. He's probably not bold-faced lying about it, but it's probably something you play through if you're not going through this. He's dug in. It's clear he's dug in. He isn't playing unless – it doesn't look like he's playing anytime soon. The team's dug in. They're not trading him. So we have the ultimate standoff here. I agree with what Baselli said in the morning. At some point, you get tired of talking about it. Yet if you're hosting a talk show, you can't not talk about it because it remains a major storyline for this team. You might have been right. You and D-Rock and I talked about it before the game yesterday, Hayes. You have stood your ground. He's not going to play another game for the Jaguars. I'm still not there. Because I don't think they're trading him before the deadline. I think if they trade him, it'll be after the season. I think maybe after the deadline, I think he plays again. You still don't think he plays again here, do you?
I don't. I think we're still a couple weeks away from the deadline, and I just think it's going to come to a point where Shad's going to be like, I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of it. If you can get the problem that's going to arise is if there's the interested teams that might have been willing to give 2-1s and possibly something else are now saying, hey, you know what, I'm now thinking we'll give you like a 2 and a 4. You know, like that's where I think it could, because if that happens, then you can't trade him for you can't just bargain shop him. He's too gifted. So you do need to get the 2-1s and possibly a player. If somebody is willing to do that, I wouldn't trade that for Jalen Ramsey. But if you're a team like Philadelphia who's taking on some water, if you're the Chiefs who all of a sudden have lost 2 games to AFC teams, are you reaching out? I still think that, there's other teams even beyond those. But, but to me, if I'm the Jaguars and I get what I feel like is pretty good value for Jalen Ramsey, I get large control over the next 2 drafts, then I would go ahead and trade him. It's just a headache. He doesn't want to be here. End of story.
Yeah.
You just, at some point, I just would be like, look, he doesn't want to be here. Let's move on.
I'll tell you my thought on that, and I've gone full circle a little bit. You play 2 more games before the deadline. You don't win both those games, you're 3-5, and that means you're 3-5 with a loss to either the Bengals or the Jets. At that point, then it's a tough season to resuscitate. Then, if I've still got 2 1s on the table, and there reportedly 2 1s have been on the table, if I've got 2 1s on the table, then you're 3-5, which means you're not saving this season, so you're closer to not being able to control him anyway. Even after 1 more year plus the franchise years, I get it. But at this point, then I probably do it. And he doesn't want to be here. But I get it. The team doesn't want to give in. The team doesn't want to. I think they feel like they're setting a standard. I read one place where part of Shad's thinking is you don't want to set a template for a guy to just be able to control what you do here. So, but I think you lose one of these next 2 games, I'd be more apt to, and I can still get the 2 1s, I'd be more apt to do it.
I still don't think they're trading him under any circumstances. I think Shad Khan has made that very clear, and if Jalen's going to sit, he's going to sit.
We'll talk Gator football. We come back. The Gators lose a heck of a game to LSU. Back and forth it went. Where do the Gators stand now, and why did that one get away? We'll talk about it after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Watch 1010XL on YouTube. Visit and subscribe to our YouTube page by searching for 1010XL video, all one word in YouTube. You'll see the 10-minute drill and after drill every day, along with original content. Search 1010XL video on YouTube.
The best bank around is Center State Bank. My friends from Center State do such a wonderful job. They truly do. 7 locations in Jacksonville and St. Augustine, and I mean they're good at it. Look, technology, if you bank from your phone, if you want the latest, they're ahead of the game. They always have been. Or if you want to just go in the bank and meet nice people, that's what I like to do. I go to the South Point location. I love the folks I meet in there. You can do that too. Nice people, really good at banking, will handle all your needs. If you need a bank in Jacksonville, Florida's business bank is Center State Bank.
Welcome to Moe's! Craving queso but can't leave your home or office? Moe's has got you covered with a click of a button. Download the Moe's app, earn a free cup of queso, score some sweet discounts, get rewarded for every purchase, and even get your order delivered. That's right, to make things even easier, Moe's delivers, whether it's to your house or office. Download the Moe's app at the Google Play or iTunes Store today. Welcome to Moe's!
Did you know Florida Pump Service has been servicing Northeast Florida since 1948? Rick Ballou here. Does your water smell bad? Do you buy bottled water to drink? Is hard water ruining fixtures and leaving deposits on glass? Don't fear your water. At Florida Pump Service, they install water treatment systems for all your needs. Don't fear your water again. Call 269-0202 or visit floridapumpservice.com. Florida Pump Service. We make water happen.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and right now is the right time to get behind the wheel of the all-new Chevy Silverado, the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. After all, what truck has the most functional bed in its class and up to 20% more cargo volume than the competition? The all-new Chevy Silverado. What truck offers the choice of several different powertrains to help you find the power and efficiency you need? The all-new Chevy Silverado. This Chevy Truck Month, head into your local Chevy dealer and see for yourself that the only truck that compares to a Chevy Silverado is another Chevy Silverado. Now, well-qualified buyers make no payments for 90 days on the all-new 2019 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. See your Southern Chevy dealers. Some customers will not qualify. Down payment required at signing if applicable. Finance charges accrue from date of financing. Not available in PA unless combined with a 0% APR. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/19. See dealer for details.
I finally admitted it. My garage was a mess, full of junk. I could have done it myself, but man, am I glad we called the veterans at J-Dog Junk Removal. Frank Frangie here. My wife and I saved so much time and so much hassle having them clear the clutter. She loved how courteous they were the entire time. And now we can enjoy our garage again. Look, take it from me. Clear the clutter. You'll be so glad you did. No matter how big the job, call J-Dog Junk Removal today. 844-GET-JDOG or enter your zip code at jdog.com.
It's Lauren Brooks of Helmets and Heels, built by Dreamfinders Homes. Join us Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m., October 15th at Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar. Come check out their new look and half-price pizza, pasta, and happy hour all day long. See you at Boston's in the River City Marketplace.
Defense wins championships. This is the Defensive Player of the Game, presented by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Linebacker Najee Good was beasting and feasting against New Orleans. He'd finish with 6 tackles on the afternoon, 4 of which being solo. He'd also prowl in the backfield and add a sack to his stat line. Numbers like these are always something you can build upon for the next game. And Najee Good is your Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game.
Searching for a fence? Challenge yourself to find a fence company with more positive online reviews than Superior Fence and Rail. With over 750 total online reviews and a 4.8 out of 5 review average, Superior Fence and Rail is superior. So take the online challenge or let their professional team show you what superior service looks like. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Here's a quick tip from your fast file bankruptcy expert, Don Dufresne with the law offices of Parker & Dufresne. Did you know the U.S. Bankruptcy Court has a new program to help borrowers navigate student loan repayments and possibly reduce thousands in interest? If you have student loan debt and are considering bankruptcy, contact the law offices of Parker & Dufresne. For more quick tips, visit jackslawcenter.com. Relief, restore, renew. Offices Jacksonville.
Pickett here. Guys, I got to tell you, it's true. We just had the new air conditioning system installed at the house. We are cooler with Bueller. That's right. My wife did some research. Trust me, we compared. And at the end of the day, Bueller Air Conditioning, the clear choice. They were on time, friendly, professional from start to finish. Our new system is awesome. Take it from me. If you need air conditioning help, I recommend Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
License CAC 1816716.
Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jax, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them the solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reese Plumbing at PlumbingJacksonville.com.
I love the fall in Jacksonville. You know what else is absolutely out of this world? The fall over at the Blue Crab House. Sit out on that deck, enjoy the best Bloody Marys in town. Absolutely a staple right here throughout the city. Located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose, the best seafood, crabs, oysters, it does not matter. Locally owned and operated going back to 1996. I'm talking about the Blue Crab House, located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
I think defensively, injuries finally caught up to us, this year. I mean, we've been just devastated with injuries. A team that's been suffered more injuries than we have this year, and I think it finally caught up to us tonight, when you lose both your starting DNs pretty much out for didn't play, especially in this type of environment, catches up to you.
Florida head coach Dan Mullen commenting on both the loss of Jonathan Grenard and Jabari Zuniga, both with high ankle sprains facing LSU. LSU wins 42-28. What did you think about Ed Ogeron's comment on his stadium, Death Valley, where opponents' dreams come to die.
Is that what he said?
Before the game, that's what he told the sideline
Funny.
reporter.
I like Eddie-O. I think Eddie-O's okay, so he's done a good job with that team. A lot of thoughts about the game. First and foremost, Florida played about as well as it could play. I think LSU had the better team. Florida also was playing without his best defensive ends and probably two best defensive players. They're playing their backup quarterback, although he's I shouldn't say that anymore because he may even be better than Franks. But I thought Florida played about as well as they hung in. LSU might have the best team in the nation. They have one of them. Nobody debates that. What are they ranked third today?
Second. Yeah.
They're ranked second.
They jumped Clemson.
So they got one of the best 4 or 5 teams in the country. Nobody would debate that. It's at night in Death Valley, as you said, Lauren, a hard place to play. And there they are, 35-28, 7 minutes to go, driving for the tying score late in the game. And they messed it up and threw a pick. I think it's a mulligan game. I think it's okay you lost that game. I think they played about as well as they could. That doesn't mean they didn't make some mistakes, but you're going to make mistakes. They couldn't get them stopped, which is hard without your ends. That showed up. I thought Dan Mullen, the reason they were in that game was Dan Mullen's play calling and coaching. Having said that, I thought they made some curious decisions. 3rd and 1, I would have run the ball twice. I would have run it, and I'd have run it again. But at some point, you got to take some shots. Before I'm critical of a bad coaching decision or a coaching decision I would have done differently, you have to realize they're in that game because of his coaching. His coaching, his play calling, that's why they're in it. So I thought Florida played a good game against a team that's really good and took them the margin was 14, but it wasn't a 14-point game. That game was close, back and forth. Both teams led in the first half. Both teams led in the second. Well, I guess both teams led in the second half. They were tied a bunch in the first half. It was a give-and-take game, and there's some huge calls. The holding call on Forsythe when the game was tied, and Florida was trying to go take – that was a big, big call. I thought they probably missed the holding on Cleveland on the interception, but that you're going to miss some calls. They didn't lose because of that. But I thought LSU was better, and the better team won the game. What I came out of that game with was two things. Florida's pretty good. Florida's better than Florida can get in the ring and go 12 rounds with about anybody, and I wasn't sure of that. They're pretty good, even with them guys hurt and guys down. Secondly, this LSU thing's real. As good as they are offensively, that is real. So look out. LSU and Alabama, this is the first time I've thought before, and the game's in Tuscaloosa, by the way. It's the first time I thought LSU and Alabama, that game will be, the winner of that game will be the home team. It's the first time I've thought that. Usually you think the winner of that game is going to be Alabama. I don't care if they're playing in New Zealand, right? But now I think I still would pick Alabama today because it's in Tuscaloosa, but LSU is absolutely one of the best teams in the country in that passing game. And Burrow's really good. A passer, as a runner, everything's accurate. He's fast. My goodness, if he wasn't good enough to play at Ohio State, I guess J.T. Barrett was better, and Dwayne Haskins, the guy you guys got going to Canton, was better because this guy's really good.
He's excellent, and I will say I thought Todd Grantham has come a long way as a defensive coordinator over the last 5 or 6 years. And I really think he's developed into an elite coordinator, which is what I thought made it so much more impressive what LSU was able to do because Grantham just didn't have any answers, and I don't think it's his fault. I mean, I don't know that there's a lot else that Florida defensively could have tried doing to get LSU even remotely out of sync, but to go from basically the late first quarter until deep into the third and not even face a third down. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what LSU's offense was doing. They weren't even having to convert on third down because on first and second down, that's all they were needing. They were going right down the field on Florida with no resistance at all. And again, I have supreme confidence in Todd Grantham and the Florida defense. So I'm not sitting here criticizing how they played. I just am blown away by how LSU's offense has totally changed. And Alabama's not going to stop LSU. They may outscore them, but no one is going to. I will be surprised anybody holds LSU under 35 points. Now, having really locked in and watched them, and granted, it was at home, and I understand that, but I don't see a lot of things that are going to bother them taking that show on the road. If I'm Tennessee, Florida State, particularly if I have to pay this huge buyout to fire the guy I don't like. Hire Joe Brady. He will come for like $1.5 million. He is like 30 years old. He was running a movie theater 2 weeks ago, it seems like.
You'd have to get all-day games because the night games will be past his bedtime.
Yeah.
Because they showed a picture of him. He's 12.
He's 12.
It's unbelievable how young he looks.
But he's obviously Merlin when it comes to a passing game. So, I mean, again, I don't think as a head coach anymore, you've got to really worry about, managing all the guys on your team and there's certainly some of that. But to me, if you have a head coach that schematically puts you in range of scoring 40 points a game, which he's doing at LSU, LSU wasn't even coming close to this. They were in the dark ages before they hired this guy, Sean Payton's pupil. And now all of a sudden, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen one guy make such a difference. And you can have him cheap now. So if you've got to pay $17 million to fire your head coach, this guy's coming cheap. You wait another 2 or 3 years, this guy's going to be making $8 million. This guy's going to be in the NFL. It is incredible to me, the difference that this whiz kid has made for LSU.
Joe Burrow was interviewed before the game, and they asked him, this was an interview that was obviously recorded, but they asked him, what's one word that you'd describe LSU's offense last year? He said Stone Age. So, even in the time he's been there, obviously he's seen the drastic change. I thought Florida was going to win the game when they finally led for the first time, 28-21, just because of the time of possession. Yes, LSU was so explosive, but Florida's drives were methodical, and they were able to obviously then control the time of possession. So that's why I thought, all right, Florida's got them right where they want them. Unfortunately, Edwards-Helaire is just an excellent back, had over 130 yards in the game.
Here's the thing about that time of possession. If you could have gotten off the field one time after one of those long drives, then you wear them down.
Mhm.
Because you make them defend for 6 or 7 minutes. Their defense was tired. And so if you could but they gained emotion because LSU went back and scored again. And you regain, even though you're going right back on the field, if you could make them go out there after you went right up and down the field on them. Back to Grantham. I will tell you, if they play him again, he'll blitz. They didn't blitz very much. He tried to rush with 2 and 3 men, and it's obvious what his concern was. As accurate as Burrow is, he didn't think the back end guys could cover Jefferson and Chase, and I get that. The reality is C.J. Henderson's probably still playing hurt a little bit. Marco Wilson has not been pre-injury Marco Wilson. Trey Dean's okay. So they don't have, and I think he's in the safety. They don't. Again, we had this conversation. There's not 5 stars back there. LSU's got 5 stars defending. Florida doesn't. So I think he's concerned he couldn't cover them. I think if you played them, if they played again, if they both win their divisions, which is possible, by the way, if they play again, I think you'll see crowd the line, 5 and 6 guys coming almost every play. And if Chase beats Henderson, then he beats Henderson. I think you'll see that more than you saw it on Saturday.
I think you were convinced that both Auburn and LSU were going to beat Florida, and then probably Georgia, I'm assuming. Does that game here in Jacksonville change now because of what happened on Saturday?
I don't know who I'll pick, but it absolutely changes. Because
Less of how Georgia lost to South Carolina, more of how Florida played LSU.
Well, both for me. Because again, if I pick today, I don't know who I'd pick. I might still pick Georgia. But, Georgia's not bad just because they lost one game. Right. I think South Carolina's played at a good level. But, yeah, here's what I think. I think that Florida-Georgia game went from Georgia a 9-point favorite, if you'd asked them on Saturday morning, to Georgia a 2.5-point favorite if it was on the books right now. I think that changed that. In my mind, it changed that much. So, yeah, I think that game. But this is the important one for Florida. This is a hard game this week. Do not kid yourself. It's a noon game, which means there's not a lot of energy. It'll be a good crowd because they're excited because they just won, but there could be not a lot of energy. You're just coming off 2 really hard, emotional games. You're beat up. I'm guessing you're not. When Dan Mullen says game time decisions, that means he's not going to have them. He just doesn't want to tell South Carolina he's not going to have them. That means you're probably not having your ends.
Is Kadarius Toney coming back for this game? Still no.
No change in his status, they said today.
Louise.
So you're not going to have your ends. You're probably not going to have him. But more importantly than all that, these are college guys you're out of gas. So I heard someone say, well, I can't believe a college kid can't get up for a game. He only played 12 games. doesn't work like that. It's not like you're not trying to get up. It's not like you're not preparing. You only have so much emotional bandwidth. Football's a hard, barbaric, combative game, man. And you only have so much. You can only be emotionally so up no matter how much you're trying. Sometimes you're trying, it's not there. And I worry about that for Florida. I think South Carolina gained some momentum. I think Florida's beat up emotionally. This is a hard game this week. It's a 6-point line, not a 16-point line. And I think this is now, Florida played well enough that I think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to mess up games they should. But this is the biggest game Mullen will have coached. This is bigger. Now, if they win, then the next one gets bigger. But this is if you win this game, then you exhale. Then you've made it through your first 8 games at 7-1. Then you can rely. Then you get a week off and you can heal a little bit. Then you probably do have your ends back after that. And then you'll be up for this game because it's Florida, Georgia, and you'll come across the bridge and all the stuff. This is a hard game for them this week, Hayes, no matter how you look at it.
Very hard game, and Helinski is going to play. It appears.
Yeah, so he says.
So he says.
Yeah.
It looked bad on Saturday, but if he is able to play, then he gives South Carolina a very competent quarterback back there. He was 15 of 20 prior to the injury in the third quarter, and you can tell the difference in South Carolina when they had to go to Joyner. So I think if you're Florida, particularly not having your best 2 defensive ends, to go up against Joyner, who's more of the run threat, that would be a lot more of a challenge that I think Florida could dominate than going up against a guy like Helinski, who I think can sit in the pocket and game manage it, deliver accurately, and move South Carolina down the field. I mean, again, remember, South Carolina should have beaten Florida last year. If it wasn't for one of the flukiest plays in the history of flukes, when Felipe Franks had a snap go over his head, corral it, turn around, throw it, it deflects off of a South Carolina defender, and a Florida guy catches it for a first down that sort of sparked that whole rally, then South Carolina beats Florida. So
31-14.
These are programs that are pretty even right now, and particularly when you factor in the injuries. If you're Florida, you take a 7-6 win right now and don't even go to Columbia.
I'm not convinced Helinski plays. That looked like a real injury. There's no way Will Muschamp could have known one day later or later on that game he was going to have it. That's gamesmanship.
He couldn't put weight on his leg.
There's no way all of a sudden Will knows he's going to play, but it's smart by Will. What Will wants to do is send the message to Florida: you better defend all those pass routes.
Prepare for both.
Correct. Prepare for both. But it's a lot easier preparation if you got a guy that can't throw. So Will Muschamp's going to send the message all week long that our passing quarterback's there. Yeah, I don't think – now, he might play, and I hope he plays. You don't see a kid get hurt. I mean, like you said, Lauren, he's a great story. But there's no way he knows right now he's playing. No chance. There's no chance he knows. That was gamesmanship. Why we expect he'll be fine. We expect he'll play. Nobody says that about a knee injury. The answer always with a knee injury is let the swelling go down, let us see where we are, and then we'll know. There's no way. But he's trying to tell everybody we're going to have our guy.
My advice to Kyle Trask, do not throw the ball anywhere near number 24, Israel Mukuamu, who had three picks against Jake Fromm.
We'll talk about that game. We'll talk Knowles and Dogs and a whole lot more after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the locker room to the sideline.
All day, let's go!
No one knows the Jaguars like Johnny O. Oh, yeah. Hear Jaguars.com's John Osher on Jaguars Today. Brought to you by Florida Pump Service. We make water happen on 1010XL.
Did you know that Scrubbles Car Wash now has 2 locations? The one you know and love in the St. John's Town Center and one now open in Fleming Island. Scrubbles is located at 1725 Eagle Harbor Parkway. And good news, Scrubbles has more locations to come. Lauren Brooks here. Scrubbles Car Wash uses quality soaps and solutions that help keep your vehicle streak-free. You'll love the Scrubbles Tunnel Wash, and the Soapy Light Show experience is one the whole family will enjoy. Every 3-minute car wash package from Scrubbles comes with self-serve vacuuming, lint-free towels, window cleaner, and a free air freshener. Remember, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
It's not the boogeyman, it's the Wiggle Man delivering scary good deals on new and used cars at Garber Auto Mall in Green Cove Springs. No tricks, only treats on 8 all-American brands in one location. We've got ghostly deals on all General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, and Ram vehicles. We'll beat anyone's trade, anyone's. You don't need to worry, this is our treat to you. We'll beat everyone and get you the deal you want. Visit GarberAutomall.com and see these wicked new and used car prices on our 8 all-American brands.
Ever wish a button could undo what you said at the office party?
Ned, my office, now.
A button for emptying the dishwasher.
Honey, dishes!
If you have sleep apnea but have trouble using CPAP, now there's a button to replace it. It's called Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. I've told you for the longest time, if you need a new pool, it's Stanley Pools. Call them at 269-7277. New pools, remodeled pools, pavers, fire pits. They do it all, and they do an outstanding job. And they have done it in this town since 1988. It is a true family business, and they truly are the best in the business. I trust Stanley Pools. Call them today, 269-7277 for the best in the business, Stanley Pools.
Mavis Discount Tire. We've been saving people money for over 50 years. Now at Mavis Discount Tire, save even more. Right now, get up to $100 back on 4 select Goodyear, General, or Firestone tires. You always save on tires at Mavis Discount Tire. Check out MavisTire.com to find a store near you.
Mavis Discount Tire, America's discount tire store.
Legal and other restrictions apply. See stores for rebate details.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When you owe the IRS or Florida sales tax and can't pay, contact J. David Tax Law. Voted best tax attorney by Folio Weekly readers and an ultimate tax attorney by the Jacksonville Business Journal. Stop collection action and permanently resolve your tax problem. Peace of mind is only a click or call away. Call J. David Tax Law now for a no-cost consultation at 507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Online at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Post-Game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of the world-famous Classic Cuban. Everybody loves a classic.
Imagine windows in your home that are 2 times stronger than vinyl, never fog up, are maintenance-free, and custom designed for you. Lauren Brooks here for Renewal by Andersen. Visit renewalbyandersen.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. Renewal by Andersen, a better way to a better window. Buy 1 window or patio door and get 1 for 40% off. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Restrictions apply. See website for details. This is a limited time offer. License number CGC 1527613.
Welcome to More Than Enough Reason with Geico. You're at an amusement park on the first hill of the biggest roller coaster in the state.
Oh boy.
Your fear of heights was more than enough reason to never get on in the first place.
Acrophobia, schmacrophobia. That's what I say.
You've also got more than enough reason to switch to Geico. Because not only could Geico save you hundreds, but they're also the second largest insurer in the country. Now that's a track record you can trust.
Wow, I can see my house from...
And since Geico is available 24/7, it's no wonder customers have the faith to give them a 97% customer satisfaction rating, which is more faith than you have going into that second loop.
Eyes on the horizon! Eyes on the horizon!
So, as you notice you've been tensing muscles you never knew you even had, you can at least relax knowing Geico is always there for you online or over the phone. Now, if you could only get off this ride.
Okay, need a little help. Think I might have pulled something. Okay.
Geico. More reasons than ever to switch today.
Hey, Hicken here. For 30 years, American Transmission has been Jacksonville's go-to for all of your automotive repair needs. They are the transmission experts, but they also have a complete department of certified master technicians. They can diagnose and repair any car, truck, SUV, or fleet vehicle. If you have any automotive repair needs, American Transmission, 2 locations, 5337 Beach Boulevard or 13750 Atlantic Boulevard. Call them today, 3963766. That's 3963766 for a free estimate.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you.
family function, or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
Nimnick Chevrolet is the #1 Chevrolet dealership in Jacksonville, and they just won Dealer of the Year for 2018. Some of the reasons they're #1 is that they have the most inventory and the best price guarantee. They've been serving and donating to this community for 78 years, and no one cares more about the customers before, but more importantly, after the sale. That's Nimnick Chevrolet. Head there today, won't you? Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your local sports update, your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by MyBookie. The Jaguars offense shut down yesterday, held without a touchdown. DJ Chark with our Hayes Carline on what the difference was against the Saints.
You know, it's the first time a team really schemed for our passing game like that, and first time I've seen somebody, follow me with safety help, So it's something that we have to get ready for moving forward, which I think our team is definitely up for that challenge.
DJ Chark with our Hayes Carline. Catch that interview later on the Frangie Show. Marquise Lee has a sprained ankle and is considered week to week. Jeff Swaim is in the concussion protocol and also has a sprained ankle for the Jaguars. At 4:02, 84 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
4 turnovers, you can't beat anybody when you lose turnover margin 4-0, and we talk about it every Monday in our meetings, and we start out with how many teams won a game that was 1 over on turnover margin, 2 over in turnover margin, 3 over in turnover margin, and we were 4 minus in the turnover margin. That's twofold. We didn't force any on defense, really didn't cause any problems for them when it comes to that, and then obviously didn't take care of the ball offensively.
Comments of Kirby Smart. How about that game? So I'm at the JU game watching, and my friend Ian Shields, they lost at the end of the game to Moorhead. It was a back-and-forth game. But I'm watching with Alex Ricker-Gilbert, and he's looking at his phone, and I wasn't watching the Georgia game. I didn't even record. I DVR all these games. I didn't even DVR the game because I thought they'd beat South Carolina with some ease.
We didn't put it in our picks in either the Saturday Morning Rush or on radio.
Now, I've gone back and DVR'd one of the replays of it, and I'm going to watch it tonight. I haven't watched it yet. Just saw some of the highlights. But then we see it 17-10, so then I go in and watch. Well, of course, I watch it from that point on. Georgia cracking the armor, not as good as expected. See, when they got down 14-10 to Tennessee, I thought, not as good as I thought. But now the more I watch, but then they came back and won. I'm not really ready to bury Georgia because they lost one game. I think they beat a really good Notre Dame team earlier, although that was a very close game. But I don't think Georgia is LSU Alabama. And I guess before the game, Hayes, I thought they were.
Well, and that's what I think is the disappointing thing from Saturday, if you're a Georgia fan, is look at what you now have to do in what I believe is a national championship or bust season. You've got to now beat Florida and Jacksonville. You've got to win at Auburn. You've got to hold serve at home against Missouri and Texas A&M. And don't laugh because you just lost to South Carolina. You then have to beat the West champion. You then have to win the semifinal. And then you have to win the national championship. That is 7 difficult to just incredibly difficult matchups that Georgia now has to pull out to win the national title. And to me, that's where this program is because of how long it's been since they've won it. Jimmy Carter was president. I think that until Georgia wins the national title, everything else, I mean, yes, it's nice to beat Florida and it's nice to win the SEC. But when you look around and see the crystal, the national championship crystal, the playoff trophies littered throughout the South, every football program has them except yours. I think that's what's so devastating about it. I think Georgia can certainly bounce back from it. I mean, look, Florida lost to Ole Miss at home the year that they were really pretty dominant, in 08. So they certainly have a chance to get back in it. I don't think it eliminates them, but I do find it surprising that South Carolina really dominated them in the trenches. I find it disturbing that Kirby Smart, to me, looks like a 5-star recruiter and a 3-star coach in terms of managing a game. Will Muschamp tried twice to hand the game to Georgia, and Georgia wouldn't take it. So I think, I don't think it was a good day for Kirby Smart. And, I still think Georgia is an elite team. But this season had to be about winning it all. And they can still do that, but the road to do that now looks incredibly difficult. And therefore, it's a total failure. If Georgia doesn't win the national title, this season is a total failure.
If I'm Georgia, I hang my hat on the fact that 3 teams since the college football playoff era began in 2014 have made it into the Final Four after having lost at home to an unranked opponent. I would have never believed that stat until I saw it Saturday night. But they've got to believe that they can win out and that they can be one of those teams to repeat the history. The problem is, what did we talk about all offseason? What are they going to do at wide receiver? Up to this point, their wide receivers had been okay, but Simmons at that one point had a chance to catch the ball, totally missed it, and ended up, that's when one of the interceptions happened. And right, you lose to a team. You didn't lose to Nick Saban. In the past, you've been able to say Smart is not as good of a coach as Saban. You lost to a guy in Will Muschamp who made several, I think, bad coaching decisions, and you weren't able to win the football game at home.
Yeah, the Cager kid from Miami is a good player, but you're right, they don't have good receivers.
And he was knocked out of the game due to injury.
But they haven't had great receivers. The issue was not necessarily that they made some mistakes down the stretch from a coaching standpoint. It's that in this age when LSU and Alabama are so good, you're in a tie game with South Carolina. I mean, really, you got a pass interference call, or you lose the game in regulation. I mean, at the end of that game. So that's the concern. Look, I think Georgia's good too, but there are flaws in teams. Even Florida. I watch Florida play. They are so flawed on the offensive line. I mean, remember, here's why the play calling in the Florida game was so funky in the red zone, because you can't block anybody. When you can't block anybody, you got to get creative. Remember, against Tennessee, they barely got it in at the end of the half. Well, Georgia's got some flaws on that team. I don't love their offensive front. I thought it'd be better than it is with the first round tackle and whatnot. And the other problem Georgia has is they've got to beat Florida. Now, I still think they have better players than Florida, or more good players than Florida, a better quarterback than Florida. So I think they're better. But they got to beat them. They got to beat a good Florida team in Jacksonville. They got to win at Auburn on the road. I'm not sure the team that played Saturday would beat Auburn on the road. Then they've got to beat either LSU or Alabama. I'm assuming one of those two are going to win the West. That's a lot of goddess to get in that playoff. The mulligan's gone now. Georgia cannot lose another game and get there. And I don't know if they're good enough, but we'll see. Certainly, they have a lot of good players. It's a good program, but a shocking loss for Georgia. I want to keep it on college football. When we come back, let's get to the Noles. We haven't talked Nole football yet. Let's talk FSU after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Flame Broiler's $5 happy hour will keep your wallet and waistline healthy. From 2 to 5 p.m. weekdays and all day Saturday and Sunday, enjoy your choice of all-natural chicken, Angus beef, or organic tofu with veggies served on steamed rice. Try one of our 4 Jacksonville locations today. Simply healthy. Flame Broiler.
Life beyond the gravitational pull of the city requires a can-do attitude. It takes versatility to accomplish all that needs to be done, and enough power to never get in over your head. The Kubota L-Series tractor pulls up its bootstraps, hooks up to its many attachments, and gets the job done right. That's why it's the #1 selling compact tractor in America. Kubota, shape your world.
Coastal Equipment on New Kings Road, Jacksonville, and now also in McClenny.
Coastal Equipment.
When you're buying or selling commercial real estate, you want the best rate of return. Closing costs can affect your purchase or sale. That's why Pantheon Realty Group's special offer gives back to you. Buying or selling, they'll partner with you by allocating up to 20% of their brokerage fees to help pay for your closing costs. This is a unique and special offer, so visit PantheonRealtyGroup.com for the details or call today at 410-0313. Pantheon Realty Group.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Ram Power Day. Tailgate in style all season long with a brand new Ram truck from Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Drive this year's best pickup and go in style on or off-road. Ram does it all. There's just no competition. Choose from the best selection and save up to $11,000 off MSRP. $11,000. We've got every model, every color, every option with payments as low as $339 a month. Now is the time. Trade in and trade up. Bring us your trade, paid for or not. We'll buy it even if you don't buy from us. For a limited time, everything is sale priced for huge fall savings. Save up to $5,000 on Jeep Compass. Save up to $6,000 on a new Dodge Journey. Save thousands on any new Charger or Challenger. See our inventory at JAXCJDR.com. Today's a great day to get a great deal. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
Hey, Hicken here, and you know fall means cooler weather, which means you're going to get outdoors. Yeah, and if you're going to be entertaining, grilling, lounging, whatever, you want an enjoyable, enviable outdoor living space, and that is exactly what the team at CSS Outdoor does best. Go see their showroom. It's just off Beaver and Edgewood. I've been there. It's awesome. See the dream designs they can build for your backyard. Custom kitchens, Fire Magic grills, everything you need. Visit the showroom or browse online at cssoutdoor.com, cssoutdoor.com.
An accident with a semi-truck is like getting hit by 20 cars all at once. We're experienced in serious cases like these, and we can help. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the grand opening of our all-new showroom with a spectacular event this Friday and Saturday. In addition to showcasing the largest diamond selection in Florida, we're also flying in the entire Tokori bridal collection, straight from the Tokori Design Studios in LA. You know Tokori, the most sought-after designer jewelry in America. Handmade engagement rings and exquisite fashion pieces, always perfect for those moments that matter. If you haven't seen Diamonds Direct's new showroom, this is a fantastic opportunity. It's 50% larger with an expanded selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, plus even more designer rings. And for this event, we're donating proceeds from every purchase to the Tom Coughlin J Fund to help local families tackling childhood cancer. Don't miss the official grand opening of Diamonds Direct's new beautiful showroom. We're rolling out the Tokori blue carpet and looking forward to seeing you. It's this Friday and Saturday at Diamonds Direct off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists helps you be the best when you play and brings you
the best of the drill replay.
Atlanta, where other teams come to celebrate. As usual, it ends how Braves fans are accustomed to an inning. The Braves don't break your heart. They punch your chest, pull it out of your chest cavity, throw it in the dirt, stomp on it with their cleats, and they shove it back in just to make sure there's an infection. That's how the Braves roll.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst in St. Augustine at 940-9740.
The Women's Board of Wolfson Children's Hospital welcomes Nikki Haley at the Times Union Center October 28th. For your chance to win tickets, text FORUM to the text line built by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Metallica, headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. Go to welcometorocktillefestival.com for all information. Tickets on sale Monday, October 14th.
Hey folks, been thinking about getting your carpets cleaned? Call Zero Res, the #1 rated carpet cleaner in town. Call us to get your carpets, tile and grout, area rugs, and furniture cleaned. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Garlic butter bacon burger, garlic butter bacon burger. Ba-ba-ba-ba, ga-ga-ga-ga.
Buttery, big buttery bites of beef.
The big bald baby begs for bacon, Bubby. Begs for bacon.
You ready, Arnell?
Yeah, I feel warm.
Rolling.
The Junior Garlic Butter Bacon Burger with tots for just $2.99. Hurry in, they're going fast. This is how you Sonic. Tax not included. See menu for details. For a limited time only. Participating Sonic drive-ins.
Nice one. Great food on the go is hard to find unless you wheel into Zaxby's on University Boulevard, in the town center, or off Old St. Augustine Road. You can always count on a great meal for you and the family. Fresh salads, chicken fingers, wings, and so much more. And don't forget the Zax sauce.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
We didn't play the way we wanted to, the way we thought we should and would play. We lost to a really good football team. Clemson's a really good football team. And like I told you guys earlier in the week, we had to play our best in order to beat them, and we didn't. So disappointing. Like I told our guys afterwards, I love the way they fought through the game. We can't let this one game cause us to lose 2 games, and we got to get back to work.
Those are the comments of Willie Taggart, the Florida State coach, really laid an egg against Clemson. I was wrong about that game. I thought Clemson would win. Thought they might even cover, but I thought more of a backdoor cover like LSU had. 45-24 type games, what I thought. Maybe 45-21, 48-21. But competitive for a quarter and a half. I did. I was wrong. I mean, it was 28-0 before you could sneeze. They really, and I thought it looked like same old FSU to me, the bad FSU. And again, Clemson's really good. I know that, but unorganized, really bad plays by Blackman. I thought.
Hornibrook didn't play well either.
No, but it didn't look as bad. Hornibrook was like 8 out of 12. Blackman was like 9 out of 22. But you're right. Neither one of them played well. They both missed moments. But I was surprised FSU played that badly. I don't know what to think about FSU going to Wake because Wake gave up 700 points this week.
62-59.
Yeah, but
Louisville beat Wake
were you surprised FSU got rolled that badly?
Yeah, I was. I thought Florida State would be at least competitive for a little bit. And, the fact that, Trevor Lawrence is getting pulled from the game with 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Right.
That's embarrassing. That is really embarrassing. What that tells you is that Dabo Swinney really doesn't want Willie Taggart to get fired. And so he's like, look, I'm not going to put 70 on you today because I'd love to see you return. So I'm not going to hand you something worse than what I handed you last year when it was 59-10 in your backyard. But you never see a starting quarterback in a conference game, in a conference rivalry game, get pulled midway through the third quarter.
But I would have done the same thing.
Oh,
I said at halftime, I'll be shocked to see if he plays more than a quarter.
Yeah, but Hayes' point is,
I know
Florida State shouldn't be put on a running clock, the equivalent of a high school running clock in the third quarter.
Absolutely.
That's the equivalent of being put on a running clock.
And it got worse for Florida State moving forward because now I think you worry, has he broken both these quarterbacks, who probably neither one of them are going to be great, but they're serviceable. They're 2 serviceable quarterbacks. And now you watch that and you wonder, where does it go from here? In terms of the, ESPN has this new stat, the QBR, which I think is kind of fun. So Trevor Lawrence's QBR was a 95.6. I think it's scale of 100. So that's a really good. You almost never see that. That's an unbelievable score.
That was like my grades in high school.
Exactly. You probably did better than Lawrence, but it was close. Blackman had a 7.7 QBR. Hornibrook had a 4.6. Now that grades everything. That's not just grading the passing numbers like passer rating does. It's grading how you did on everything and decision making. So it's a very ambiguous. Thank you, Lauren Brooks.
She just told you she made all hundreds in high school.
That's right.
Me?
And now
She'll
you're saying why I made all C's in high school.
She'll drop words left and right. Go ahead. Continue, please.
But yeah, that's I think the fear moving forward is how do you pick up the pieces from this, and because you do now face probably the crossroads game of your season if you're going to salvage anything here against Wake Forest, and now I think you have to wonder who can he turn to. Are both these guys damaged permanently from a confidence standpoint from how it went Saturday in Clemson?
FSU got an angry Clemson team. That's the bottom line of all
I agree
of this.
with that.
But the problem to me was when Keyshawn Helton, the wide receiver for Florida State, suffers the knee injury, and he's telling his teammates as he's being carted off the field, don't quit. Don't quit. He has to tell them that because a year ago to that team, they quit, and he wants to make sure that doesn't happen. If you even have quit in the vocabulary on a Saturday afternoon, that's a huge problem.
What helps them is the league is really bad. What really helps them is good thing for them. They don't play North Carolina, okay, who's better, but they go to Wake Forest. Wake Forest just allowed 62 to the Louisville team that we've seen enough times now. 62.
But they also put up 59
against Louisville,
and is still favored over the Noles.
Yeah, and but I again, we'll pick that in our picks. But you have Wake Forest, who I don't think, and Wake Forest was undefeated now. Syracuse was a fraud the whole time. Miami, not nearly as good as we thought they would be. Boston College, they're going to fire Adazio. I mean, they're really in the tank. And then you play some team called Alabama State. So
it's a pick 'em.
The saving grace for FSU is, other than Florida, I don't see a game on there that I don't think they have a chance to win. They may not win them all, but I think so. The saving grace for FSU is the league never turned the corner. So yeah, they could lose at Wake Forest, but I don't think they're going to. And then
I think they're going to.
Do you do?
Yeah.
Syracuse at home, Miami at home, at BC. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully, if you're an FSU fan, hopefully, because you got to 3-3, or because you got to 3-2 before the Clemson game, because you got there before you can take a breath. You made a good point, Lauren. They got an angry Clemson team. Whether you lost 45-14, as it turned out, or 2017 in a barn burner, you still would be 3-3 now. So hopefully the fact that you play some winnable games now helps them pick up the pieces. I'll stand my ground on Hornibrook. He should be the quarterback. Now, the truth is, neither one of them looked very good. It just looked out of kilter to me when Blackman was in there. Too many mistakes, and Hornibrook's no great shakes, but Hornibrook's a pretty good game manager when your athletes are as good as the other guy's athletes. Hornibrook has no chance when you're outmanned like they were. But don't you think he's the better player? Do you still think Blackman's the guy you'd play?
No. It's after seeing that. I mean, after seeing 9 and 23, I think they're both terrible. But I think Hornibrook has enough seasoning where I would now, if I'm Willie Taggart, I would say I think both these guys might be broken, but I'm going to go with the guy that's at least can lay his head on the pillow and say, I've won 26 of these things in my career, whatever his number is. But I think he's won about 26
It was 26
games.
Before he got here. He's won a couple here.
Okay, so a guy that's won nearly
games.
30 games in college football as a starting quarterback,
correct.
I think we'll be able to lean on that experience to get him through this. Whereas, James Blackman he may be ruined.
That's the worst I've seen him look. I can't. Of all the games we've watched Blackman, he came in and played the first year. He wasn't ready. They pretty much held him out last year, except for that NC State game. This is the first time he looked awful. And again, it's Clemson on the road. Lauren made the best point at all. A pissed off Clemson team that
who had a bye week and yes, FSU had the bye week too, but it's totally different.
Yeah, a bye week to seethe.
Right.
Not just to
have
get ready,
everybody
but
in the
to
country
seethe.
say that they were terrible.
Yeah.
Not terrible, but they were
overrated.
Way overrated.
Yeah,
they shouldn't even be in the top 5.
And I totally agree with you. So we'll see. But when your athletes are even, Hornibrook can manage that game, in my mind, better than James Black. That doesn't mean Blackman won't hit some bigger plays, but he's not as mistake prone.
Yeah, Florida State, by the way, should never be down 42-0 to any program.
Ever.
And that's why, if you're a Florida State fan, you probably hope your team loses more than wins the rest of the season, so Taggart is out.
And believe me, I watched Florida get down that way to Alabama in back-to-back championship games under McElwain, and McElwain's gone. And I can safely say that with Mullen there, I don't think there will be many 42-0 deficits. That doesn't mean there won't be any, but there won't be very many. And again, it's not that long ago that Florida was having the same kind of games against Alabama that FSU just had against Clemson. A lot more to do. When we come back, I want to get it back to some Jaguars football. I want you to hear from some key guys, including the best receiver Jacksonville has had in a long time, but didn't do much in this game. Why not? That comes up after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hey, if you're looking for reasons to go to Nimnick Chevrolet and buy your cars, well, I got one. It's the best car dealership you'll ever visit. Man, oh man, are they good at it. They won the Dealer of the Year in 2018. Don't be surprised if they win that bad boy again in 2019. The word is out. Nobody does a better job. They've got the most inventory of Chevrolets anywhere in the region, and that gives them the best price guarantee because they have so many of them. And they've been doing this in this community for 78 years. Think about that for a second. 78 years. Now, right now, that model year-end closeout continues on, and you get great deals, discounts up to $14,000. That's right, $14,000. Look, go to Nimnik Chevrolet for great selection, great service, great pricing, and a company you can count on to stand behind the sale even after the sale. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Listen to 92.5 FM on Alexa. Say, Alexa, open 92.5 FM Jacksonville skill. And hear special messages from 1010XL personalities. You must say, Alexa, open 92.5 FM Jacksonville skill to initiate.
Jeff Prosser here for your all-weather plumbing pros at Fenwick Plumbing. Listen up, October is here, and it's time you tackle that leaky faucet, that running toilet, or that dripping pipe. Take $50 off any plumbing repair when you call Fenwick's fully licensed expert team today. They'll bring over 50 years of trusted, highly rated plumbing know-how right to your home. Plus, they'll back their work with an outstanding 30-day warranty. But you must call by October 31st and mention me. That's 660-0556 or fenwickplumbing.com.
Is your AC unit making spooky noises? Maybe you got some creepy stuff in your vents. It's Rick Ballou and my friends at McGowan's will get rid of your AC gremlins with their fall service deals. It's no trick. They'll inspect your system and make honest recommendations so your whole family gets a treat this year. From the Georgia border to Palm Coast, folks trust McGowan's AC. Call 264-COOL or visit McGowan'sAC.com, the official heating and air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
License number CMC 1250075.
Tired of pounding nails or working at your current job? American Window Products is looking for talent in their installation department. They know their greatest asset is the people they hire. You can get competitive pay and full benefits. They supply uniforms and all the tools you need. Their installers stay forever. Apply now in person at American Window Products, 2633 Powers Avenue, or call 731-2247.
American Windows, the window professionals.
Friday Night Lights.
We're coming to you live Friday Night Lights. We back at high school.
After the game, join Hacker and Denny Thompson. Recap this week's high school football games and hear from the winning coaches on the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights.
Gentlemen, discover the new medical treatment that Viagra doesn't want you to know about. I'm Bradley I with Synergenics Elite Health, and we offer GainsWave. It's a simple 20-minute in-office procedure. GainsWave is non-invasive, and it restores the poor blood flow that causes ED. Stop popping pills and scheduling intimacy. Call 904-500-5500. Consultations are free. Mention this radio station for $150 off your first treatment. Call Synergenics Elite Health at 904-500-5500 to learn about the GainsWave ED treatment today.
I love the fall in Jacksonville. You know what else is absolutely out of this world? The fall over at the Blue Crab Crab House. Sit out on that deck, enjoy the best Bloody Marys in town. Absolutely a staple right here throughout the city. Located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose, the best seafood, crabs, oysters, it does not matter. Locally owned and operated going back to 1996. I'm talking about the Blue Crab Crab House, located on Julington Creek Road in San Jose.
Now, the Performance Painting play of the game.
You gotta claim it!
Performance Painting. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Leonard Fournette had it all going in his offensive showing at home for the Teal and Black. One of his best plays of the afternoon would come in the third quarter, as his 16-yard run would help get Jacksonville in the field goal range and tie the game at 6 with 3:11 left to go in the third period. The star running back had a complete performance on Sunday, and he also had your Performance Painting play of the game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting!
My name is Janice. I'm a client of Brett Hastings. Brett is the most brilliant, diligent, hardworking attorney I have ever met. He is truly dedicated to his clients and fights for them to the very end. Brett fought hard to win a large personal injury lawsuit for me. They're the very best legal team I have ever met. I would hire them again in a heartbeat.
Learn more at justiceforjacksonville.com. Law offices of Brett Hastings, where the injured find justice.
They say time is money, and at Claude Nolan Cadillac, they respect your time and strive to make your every visit a pleasure. Serving Jacksonville for over 114 years, Claude Nolan Cadillac owners come back again and again because you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. And now lease a 2019 luxury model XT5 for $445 a month for 39 months. Visit Claude Nolan on Southside Boulevard or at ClaudeNolanCadillac.com. Beginning lasting relationships since 1905. See dealer for details.
Folks, it's time to upgrade your roof. Mike Dempsey here for Universal Roofing Contracting, and there is no one better than Universal Roof because they're the safest, most highly skilled roofing contractor in town on all types of roofs. Dare to compare. Take advantage of their limited time offer of 15% off. Ask about a total protection warranty and available financing. Visit universalroof.com to schedule a free roof inspection and find out why the difference is Universal. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
They put, Lattimore on him, but they also had a safety on him for most of the time. So DJ, if he's one-on-one, I'll take him versus anybody. But when they start putting two guys, and it gets tough. But, we got enough guys, in that room that can make plays, and, we're going to do better.
Jaguars quarterback Gardner Minshew after the 13-6 loss to the Saints yesterday at TIAA Bank Field, discussing, of course, his wide receiver, DJ Chark. He'll take him one-on-one versus anybody, but the Saints were smart, and they had both, usually Marshawn Lattimore and a safety covering Chark.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize it until he said it. That I just looked like to me Lattimore was chasing him all over the field, and then went back and watched the DVR of it. And
Lattimore is really good.
He's really good. He was
really good.
He was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not far removed from that. He's a very good player. DJ Chark is a special receiver. I don't think anybody would debate that. He's got a chance to be a great player. But I think, Hayes, part of the maturation is, again, we always say this, the league punches back and learn how to handle it and to counter the counter. He's going to get a lot of attention now. That's the next step in the maturation of DJ Chark.
It is, and round one certainly went to the NFL, and now we'll see because Cincinnati is going to completely mimic what New Orleans just did because until you prove that you can beat it, it's what you're going to see. So Doug Marrone was very plain about that on his conference call this afternoon. You can expect that this is a league where a team sees something work and they're going to mimic it and copycat it. So they've got to figure it out. I think they can figure it out. And another aspect to this is, they do need to get more out of Chris Conley. I mean, he's now gone a couple games without making a catch. D.D. Westbrook didn't have the impact that you'd like, considering all the attention that Chark received. The receivers in general, 18 targets, 6 catches for 96 yards combined. Chark, D.D., and Chris Conley. That's got to improve. So that's one way that Chark can be helped somewhat is if D.D. and Chris Conley start making defenses pay for those looks.
DJ Chark after the game yesterday, the subject of this, Hayes Carlyon, one-on-one.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars receiver DJ Chark here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Tough day. What was the biggest difference today in what the Saints were doing?
A lot of zone, dropping back, two-man, rotating, so it's pretty much made it tough for us on certain plays, but someday we can look at it and get better.
Are these days that sometimes you just have as an offense going up against a good defense like that?
We can move the ball, which we did. It's just being consistent and attacking what they given us. It's the first time a team really schemed for our passing game like that, and first time I've seen somebody, follow me with safety help. So it's something that we have to get ready for moving forward, which I think our team is definitely up for that challenge.
How good is Lattimore going up against him?
Talented, smart. They had a good defensive scheme. So he did, what he was supposed to do pretty well.
You had the 12-yarder, the 22-yarder coming out of the second half. Hopeful that would kind of spark some things for you?
Yeah, which it did. It got us a field goal. I just think, when you got, like I said, when you got somebody following you with safety help, you got to find ways to move everybody around. Not just me, DD, 18, Chris, also running game. So that is one of the top defenses in the league, and they did what they were supposed to do coming out, and, hats off to them. But we know that we can continue to move the ball and get better.
DJ, how tough was it seeing Marquise get hurt?
It was tough, but, I talked to him. He's going to be okay, so that's a relief.
DJ, thanks for your time.
No problem.
Yeah, Marquise Lee was in a walking boot yesterday in the locker room, but seemed pretty upbeat. Doug Marrone today said Marquise is week to week. Did say that Josh Oliver has a great chance to go on Sunday, so that was very good to hear about the rookie tight end. So hopefully they will have Josh Oliver back. Obviously now down O'Shaughnessy. Jeff Swaim's dealing with a sprained ankle and in the concussion protocol, so obviously it seems like a long shot that he will be able to play Sunday in Cincinnati.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens with that tight end spot. They want Josh Oliver to play. He's never played in an NFL game, preseason or regular season, so there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be, and for pass catchers, it can be a steep learning curve. If you've never been out there at all, remember he didn't even play at a big school. It's not like he's going from LSU to playing in his first ever NFL game. So the speed of the game, which is the first thing you adjust to in those preseason games, will be an adjustment. Yeah, what do you do if you're not going to have Swaim, and he really got his bell rung now. If you're down Swaim, right now you've got Koyak and DeValve, two guys. They weren't even on your team when you started the season. So, and it's not like that. You can find other Koyaks and DeValves on practice squads, but you're not going to find anyone that's going to make a difference there. What do they do? Hope to get Josh Oliver out and play him, right?
Yeah, Oliver will obviously be the first thing. I do think it has to at least give you some pause if Shad Khan does relent a little bit and says to Coughlin and Caldwell, look, all right, I don't want to trade him, but if you can get 2 first-round picks and a pretty decent tight end, something, or even if he doesn't put that kind of guideline on it, but if he gives them a little bit of room to pursue a deal again, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Because it seems like everybody that is interested in Jalen Ramsey has depth at tight end, so that wouldn't necessarily be the core of the package. The draft compensation is going to be the core of the package. But if you could get, again, a Hayden Hurst, or does Philadelphia part with Goddard? I don't know. That seems to be an up-and-coming player that maybe they wouldn't want to do that and 2 first-rounders. But if you're able to help with some help get some help at tight end, and realistically look at maybe post-bye that player really being able to be a contributor, that would be a few weeks of practice. Obviously, they're in football shape, but they'd have to get up to speed with what you want to do. Because other than that, then it's just going to be a churn of the Ben Koyaks of the world, who was signed and immediately put into action. He had to play 11 snaps. That's not ideal to have a guy basically walk in, even a guy familiar with your program, and have to play that many snaps right out of the gate in such a meaningful contest.
Is it just me, or is the tight end position in Jacksonville cursed? Even like the moment they signed Julius Thomas, he ends up getting hurt. Last year, it seemed like all the tight ends go on IR. This year, the 2 best tight ends right now are hurt. It just feels like they have these guys with potential, and then obviously Josh Oliver, now we still haven't seen him.
You're right. Well, the Julian Thomas thing sounded good, was a disaster, but it looked good at the time. In fairness to him, it looked like a good signing at the time. Austin Seferian-Jenkins never looked good to me. He was soft, out of shape. So they bombed on 2 free agent signings. Mercedes got old.
Although I think he would still help this team some. I think he would have a little bit last year. Not that the season was going anywhere.
Yeah, he'd be one more guy.
I would send them a conditional 6th rounder today to have him back here.
Mercedes Lewis?
Absolutely.
Yeah, compared to what you got.
Yeah.
I think, but back to what you said a minute ago, is if this Ramsey standoff continues, and again, I think he's not playing, man. He's dug in. They're dug in. it looks like to me, again, I'll say it again, the story in Big Cat Country I thought did a nice job of really making the point that he's probably not making up the injury. It probably is legit, but it's probably something he tries to play through if he's not going through this, if he hadn't drawn a line in the sand and say he wants out. So if he's not playing, if he's not going to play, and period, not playing, and you're going to have to trade him anyway, or you might trade him anyway, if you could get a 1 and a 2 in Hayden Hurst, and I'm not saying Hayden Hurst any great shakes, but if Andrews and Boyle have gone by him on the Ravens depth chart, he's a guy that might be pretty good. He might be as good as James O'Shaughnessy was for you, right? So, I think you probably, you'd be intrigued to think about that, wouldn't you? You'd have to be intrigued to think about it. Let's take a break. Back in a moment. This is 1010XL on 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings' studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehabilitation Football Friday night prepares you for the weekend with insight into the top local prep games and recruits. Saturday's biggest showdowns and each NFL Sunday. 4 hours of nothing but football. Friday from 3 till 7 on 1010XL.
You want great barbecue? You want Bono's. Best barbecue around. Brooks and I have our planning meetings every Monday, and we plan the week while eating that great Bono's barbecue. Man, is it good stuff. Brooks gets that salad, barbecue salad. I get that all dark meat chicken and green beans, and is it good. If you want great barbecue, you want Bono's. 15 locations in town. Fast, friendly service. Clean family restaurants, and just great barbecue. A legend in Jacksonville. If you want great barbecue, your choice is easy. You want Bono's.
Listen up, Jacksonville. Beaver Chevrolet is expanding and looking for the best of the best to join our family. Maintain your work-life balance, enjoy a positive atmosphere, and earn industry-leading pay. Our WOW opening of the month is for experienced mechanics. How about a $10,000 signing bonus? That's right, experienced technicians can take advantage of a $10,000 signing bonus. If you're ready to join the team, call General Manager Brett Morgan at 904-245-1422 or just stop by Beaver Chevrolet.
Hey Googans, I'm Lance, former Navy SEAL with 180 Products. When my baby girl had skin issues that couldn't be solved with mainstream products, I created one of my own. I continued researching and experimenting and was able to create amazing products to help ease other symptoms our family experienced. Now I am happy to share those products with you. We make our products right here in Jacksonville with all natural organic ingredients. Visit 180products.com today and see how we can help you. That's 180products.com.
Sawyer Gas.
Hi, this is Ashley Mentor, Commercial Account Manager for Sawyer Gas. If you use propane to power your business, from forklifts to commercial kitchens, then contact us to learn how we can serve you. To learn more, visit us at sawyergas-fl.com or call our office at 904-296-8600. Sawyer Gas, where safety and service are our priority.
Sawyer Gas, driving every day with Sawyer Gas.
For your chance to win VIP weekend passes to the Welcome to Rockville Festival in Daytona Beach, May 8th through 10th, text the word Rockville to the 1010XL text line built by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Football season is here, and you know what that means, right? It's time to bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. MyBookie has odds on every game and more prop bets than any other sports book, and absolutely nobody pays out faster. You get your cash when you want it. Did you know you can bet on games after kickoff or parlay your picks to score a huge profit on a small wager? At MyBookie, you can. Don't play on some no-name sports book. If you're gonna bet this football season, be smart. Bet with the best at MyBookie.ag. Sign up today and MyBookie will double your first deposit. That's up to $1,000 in free money to wager on your favorite teams. Use promo code RADIO right now to get your exclusive double your money offer. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code RADIO. Play, win, and get paid at MyBookie.
If the moments of sexual intimacy with your partner are memories of the past, take note. ED isn't an inevitable part of aging. The urologists of the McKeever Clinic can get you back to feeling like your normal self again. Generic forms of Viagra and Cialis are now available directly at McKeever. Your McKeever doctor will decide if this alternative is right for you, and you can go home the same day with the prescription. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urological care since 1921.
The Truck Accident Law Firm is a national truck crash law firm based right here in Jacksonville, focused on making First Coast roads safer through zealous advocacy for families of those injured or killed by unsafe trucking. The Truck Accident Law Firm focuses exclusively on tractor-trailer, bus, and commercial vehicle crashes. If someone you know is involved in a serious crash with a tractor-trailer or commercial vehicle, contact your local truck crash specialists at truckcrashlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Got a clogged drain or a problem with your sewer? Dial 6951901. Don't tell me, let me guess, call Metro Rooter. Dial 6951901 or MetroRooter.com.
Nobody likes to have plumbing problems at their home or business, but if you do, call Metro Rooter. We provide fast same-day service with the right parts and equipment on hand to get you up and running. For all your plumbing and septic tank needs, call the best. Just pick up the phone and dial
6951901 or MetroRooter.com.
If a car leaves work at 5:46 p.m., picks up 2 kids and 1 spouse at 3 different locations, and purposely passes 3 fast food joints looking for 1 quality meal that feeds 4, what's the quickest way to get a family meal with 0 regret? The Publix Deli. Grab-and-go entrees and salads, chicken and smokehouse favorites, custom-made subs. Every option is the right answer. Try a delicious ready-to-enjoy deli meal tonight. Now that's everyday easy. Only at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
All right, tonight, Gibby, 7:38 Eastern. The Nats try to go up 3-0 on the Cardinals. Are the Cardinals going to get any hits tonight?
Well, they are facing Strasburg tonight, so they may get a few, but not too many. I love this pitching matchup, by the way. Flaherty and Strasburg, that's as good as it gets to me.
How about the fact that they were no hit for 5 innings in back-to-back games? Did you guys see this? Back-to-back games, Gibby, they were no hit.
Braves legend Anibal Sanchez.
Yeah, and about 8 other teams' legends,
right.
in fact. But wow,
is this series over?
I don't think it's over, but it's a long way back. I think the Nats are going to win now, but I think the Cardinals might win tonight. What do you think, Gib?
I think the Nationals take a 3-0 lead, and this pick that I had prior to the season looks pretty good right now. I had the Astros and the Nationals in the World Series.
How about that? Gibby called that in April.
Yeah.
He called Nationals.
I'm telling you, the Braves should hire him.
Well, I just think they have pitching that only the Astros can match. When you look at Strasburg, Corbin, and Scherzer, I mean, the Astros are the only team with Greinke, Cole, and Verlander that can match those 3 guys. And the young players that they have, and Juan Soto is really blossoming right before our eyes into a superstar. Anthony Rendon is already, I think, at that level. The Nats are really good.
Well, are you convinced the Yankees beat the Astros? But you still convinced the Astros beat the Yankees?
I think they do. I think their pitching will edge out the Yankees. But like I said before that series started, I mean, the Astros-Yankees is almost like a World Series in of itself because it's such a good series. And for the Astros, there's a very short list of guys that are going to the Hall of Fame after their career's over. Verlander, just a very short list. Mike Trout that are playing right now. I think Jose Altuve is on that track.
I do too.
This guy he already has the postseason record for home runs by a second baseman already in his career, and he's 29.
Yeah, he will go down as one of the best offensive second basemen of all time. All time.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Morgan's on that list. Roberto Alomar's on that list. But he'll be on it.
Isn't he also sort of the face of this run for the Astros?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, I think he is.
And that helps.
Yes, you better believe it. That's a good call, especially if they win another one.
Yeah, and he's already got an MVP. He's played 9 years in the big leagues. He's been an All-Star 6 of those years. Only 29 years old. Jose Altuve is really, really good. And by the way, this postseason already has 3 home runs and 10 hits.
Now, here's my question for you, Andrew Gibson, out of App State, the ranked football team.
That's right.
That they are.
The AP voters finally got it right.
So is Altuve.
You got kind of lucky, though. Not really lucky, but Memphis
lucky.
lost.
You didn't get lucky. One
Wake
ball
Forest
game.
lost.
Hey, Gib, you didn't get lucky.
5-0.
Strike that from
not
the
lucky.
record. So strike that. Your Honor, strike that from the record, please. Hey, Gibby, is Altuve the best Astros second baseman ever yet?
He's getting close. I mean, they've had some good ones. I think
I've never been in his sports bar. Okay.
Yeah.
Hayes Carline and I have never gone to his sports bar and watched Florida, Kentucky. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. No, they've had some good ones, but no, I mean, I think Altuve's he's on track for Hall of Fame, so I think he's pretty good.
What about you?
I wouldn't you have to say Biggio just because of the longevity of it?
For now, I don't think he's passed Biggio yet.
That he probably will pass him.
Yeah,
but I don't think he has
yet.
Yet.
But that's a great two to have had.
I don't think he passes him until he gets to the Hall of Fame, and then he still may not. But Biggio's already a Hall of Famer and one of the greats of all time too.
Yeah, and you know what? In about 10 years, we're going to be watching Florida, Kentucky at Altuve's. Okay,
you might.
Okay. Right now, we watched it at Biggio's.
He might be too tall to go into
That's true, could be. But he is a wonderful player to watch. What about it? Astros and Yankees? You think is 1-1?
I
Who's
sure
winning?
as heck hope the Astros win. I understand, obviously, both teams have phenomenal players, but Astros have the better pitching, hopefully, and that's who I want to.
Yeah, I've not been a Yankee hater. You a Yankee hater?
Yes.
Are you a Yankee hater?
Yes.
Any reason? Just because they're good so
I hate
long?
dynasties.
Yeah.
They beat the Braves in the World Series.
You're still
when I
mad
was
at
convinced
Jim?
the Braves are up 2-0.
You're mad at
We've
Jim?
got Andrew Jones at 19 years old hitting home runs, setting World Series records.
You're mad at Jim Leyritz.
And
Jim Leyritz is who
yeah,
you're
Jim
mad at.
Leyritz killed us.
Yeah.
And then we didn't win again. It was
Who
we
threw
were
the
up 2-0, and then we lost in 6.
Did Wohlers throw the Leyritz pitch?
Yes.
It was Wohlers, right? Wohlers, yeah, okay.
It was the last baseball pitch I cared about.
Yeah, Wohlers threw it.
It's been a long time.
You know what? I'll say this. That Leyritz home run was a bomb, comma quote. He said to the guy that brought up Cabrera earlier in the show, okay? I think it was in the upper deck, now that I remember it, just so we're saying.
Chad Scott sends us these emails
Right.
from ESPN every morning with all this statistical data, and they're fascinating to go through. Sometimes they're really long, so
Right.
sometimes I see
they
it,
are
and
good.
sometimes I
Yeah.
sometimes I'll read it, and sometimes I can't. But today I clicked on it, and like the first thing that pops is anniversaries,
Right.
which usually they have at like the bottom.
Mhm.
And the first thing that was on there was on this day in 1992, Francisco
Yeah.
Cabrera.
You pulled a
And I was
hamstring pulling that thing
I was
down.
like, that might come up later.
That's got a chance to make the show. Hey, Gibby, if the Nationals get there, what will the story be like? I mean, will it be a, wow, they finally got there? Because they don't feel like an underdog. I mean, they've had too many good players, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think they're the underdog. But the thing about the Nationals is that they didn't win the division. They came in as a wild card. They're the team that gets into the playoffs and just is red hot and just catches fire. They won the wild card game, and they might go on and win the World Series. I mean, I think the story would be, wow, look at how this team caught fire. Because if you look at the Nationals in the second half, what they did was really amazing because their first half record, I don't have the number in front of me, but it was not great. I mean, they might have been below 500, and the Nationals in the second half were just unreal.
The Nationals were 19-31 at one point.
Unreal, way below 500.
Yeah, and not just 1931, but I think 4-11 or something like that. So they struggled to start the season. Let's get it back to football. The football hour starts at 5 o'clock. We'll talk some more Jaguars. I want you to hear from Miles Jack after the game yesterday. Hayes also caught up with him. And also, is Jeremy Foley headed to the left coast? That seems to be a discussion point. We'll talk about it after this.
The Frangie Show, live from the law offices of Brett Hastings Studio on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You'll hear Pete Prisco, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports, every Friday on The Frangie Show, brought to you by Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the grand opening of our all-new showroom with a spectacular event this Friday and Saturday. In addition to showcasing the largest diamond selection in Florida, we're also flying in the entire Tokori bridal collection, straight from the Tokori Design Studios in LA. You know Tokori, the most sought-after designer jewelry in America. Handmade engagement rings and exquisite fashion pieces, always perfect for those moments that matter. If you haven't seen Diamonds Direct's new showroom, this is a fantastic opportunity. It's 50% larger with an expanded selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, plus even more designer rings. And for this event, we're donating proceeds from every purchase to the Tom Coughlin J Fund to help local families tackling childhood cancer. Don't miss the official grand opening of Diamonds Direct's new beautiful showroom. We're rolling out the Tokori blue carpet and looking forward to seeing you. It's this Friday and Saturday at Diamonds Direct off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
How tough is the new 2019 Crewmax Toyota truck? Well, it's tough enough for Ernie Palmer Toyota and 1010XL to give one away this fall. Fact is, Ernie Palmer Toyota now has your toughest and coolest Tundras, Tacomas, Highlanders, and Sequoias just sitting around waiting for you to drive. So visit Ernie Palmer Toyota today and keep an eye out for the Ernie Palmer Weekly Pick'em Contest this football season on 1010XL.com, where you'll have a chance to win a Crewmax Toyota Tundra, only from Ernie Palmer Toyota.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Ever wish a button could undo what you said at the office party?
Ned, my office now.
A button for emptying the dishwasher.
Honey, dishes!
If you have sleep apnea but have trouble using CPAP, now there's a button to replace it. It's called Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, reminding you that everybody loves a classic. And all month long, you can pick up a fresh, never frozen classic Cuban for just $3.99 from Dandy. That's right, folks. $3.99 gets you a deliciously unique sub that boasts piles of cooked ham, salami, roast pork, and creamy Swiss cheese. Add a little mustard and pickles, authentic Cuban bread, and you have yourself a classic. So why don't you go out and make yours a classic Cuban from Dandy, and do it today.
All year long you'll be singing our song. Stay cooler with Bueller. At the head of our class we make it happen fast. Stay cooler with Bueller. For heating and air we always play fair. We make the difference 'cause we really care. Bueller Air. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Post-Game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of the world-famous Classic Cuban. Everybody loves a classic.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. October is birthday month for Zero Res. I can't believe it's been 15 years since my wife and I started this business. I appreciate so much all the loyal and generous customers. To celebrate our 15th birthday, just call and say, "Happy birthday, Zero Res," and we will give you $15 off any cleaning service that you need. That's $15 off tile, carpet, upholstery, area rugs, and granite countertops. $15 off whatever you need cleaned. It's our birthday gift to you. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Pet Paradise is a comprehensive pet care provider offering boarding, day camp, grooming, and veterinary services. Pet Paradise has state-of-the-art resorts that offer safe, clean, and fun environment for four-legged guests and peace of mind for their owners. Pet Paradise has 5 North Florida locations, including one at the Jacksonville Airport. It's open 24/7. Visit them today, petparadise.com. Pet Paradise is the official pet service provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here, and I want to know, are your drafty windows letting all that cool air right back outside? Will they protect your home from Florida's unpredictable weather? If not, then it's time for the peace of mind that comes only with Pella Windows and Doors. Pella offers durable wood, fiberglass, and vinyl products in various styles and designs to best complement your home. So visit the Pella of Jacksonville showroom on Phillips Highway next to Tesla, or find them at PellaJacks.com. That's Pella Windows and Doors at PellaJacks.com.
Garlic butter bacon burger, garlic butter bacon burger. Ba-ba-ba-ba, ga-ga-ga-ga. Buttery, big buttery bites of beef. The big bald baby begs for bacon, Bubby, begs for bacon.
You ready, Arnell?
Yeah, I feel warm.
Rolling.
The Junior Garlic Butter Bacon Burger with tots for just $2.99. Hurry in, they're going fast. This is how you Sonic. Tax not included, to menu for details. For a limited time, only participating Sonic drive-ins.
Nice one.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. The Jaguars a little bit wounded after their loss against the Saints yesterday. Marquise Lee spotted with a walking boot in the locker room yesterday. Marquise reportedly has a sprained ankle and is now considered week to week. Tight end Jeff Swaim, he really had a brutal hit put on him yesterday and is in the concussion protocol. Also has a sprained ankle. The Jaguars tight end position really looking for answers, and the Jaguars may have one. Rookie tight end Josh Oliver might be on the field Sunday against Cincinnati. Coach Doug Marrone says if all goes well, he has a great shot to play on Sunday. By the way, tight end Josh Oliver has not played in the regular season or preseason this year for Jacksonville. At 5:01, 84 degrees. Your time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Here, that means it's time for more football. Football at 5.
5 o'clock somewhere.
On The Frangie Show.
We'll talk a little NFL football coming up in just a bit. You're going to hear from Miles Jack, the inside linebacker from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll also talk about some weird goings on in the NFL. We got to figure. We got to figure out at the bottom of the hour how are we breaking this tie. How are we doing that? You got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to Monday Night Football and
what do we pick?
Detroit, Green Bay.
Well, I mean, Survivor pool. Okay, I'll take Green Bay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where that's basically how it's going to go.
Yeah, do it like this: more yards, Stafford or Rodgers.
Well, no, I think it's just if we play the line, like I'll take Detroit in 3.5 points, and you take Green Bay.
Where's the game?
It's in Lambeau.
I'll take you. Done. On. Loser buys.
Loser buys.
You got 3.5.
I've got 3.5 in the Lions.
You realize all of America wants to find out. Now, do you know what the ratings just happened for Monday Night Football, the way they just spiked?
We just did ESPN a huge.
We need a check. Okay, so there you go. Loser Monday. So tomorrow, somebody's buying food.
I really wanted you two losers to argue about this for quite a while. I didn't want it to be this easy.
It was too easy.
Yeah.
Agreeable.
Losers aren't supposed to be agreeable.
Actually, you know what we ought to
be
do?
bitter, like
we'll
I
take
was last
suggestions.
week.
That just seems to be the simplest way.
Decided.
I came up with predict the score, but I like yours better.
I like that. So okay. So you get the Lions getting 3.5. I'll settle for the Packers at Lambeau.
I've got one for you real quick.
Okay.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
It's a great movie.
Hey, I don't know what movie is it?
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, is it? But we might want to do the food on. Should we do the food on Wednesday since you're bolting tomorrow to go to Boston, and you wouldn't get full?
That would be great, but I would hate for you guys to rearrange your whole schedule for me.
What's our schedule? We're just buying the food Wednesday instead of Tuesday. How's that rearranging our schedule?
Okay, sure, that would be wonderful.
That's what we'll do. So,
and you're going to Boston's too, so I guess it does help you.
So Loser Monday is on Wednesday.
Okay.
But we'll decide it tonight.
Loser Wednesday. All right.
The losing continues.
Hey, so no, I want to bring the food tomorrow. So there you go.
Well, if I lose, the only problem with that is I've got locker room until about 3.
Oh, that's right.
So I can still make the food run. I just won't get here until like 3:30.
Yeah, no, we don't want you. You'd Welsh on your bed. I'm not going to let you do.
It's really complicated when we have double losers.
Yeah, really. Right. All right, you're right.
It was way easier with 3 losers, which happened 2 weeks
So
ago.
lunch is tomorrow. So there you go. So it'll be tomorrow's food.
Are you not here at all?
No, I am.
Okay. She's here.
Well, we normally do it at like 3:15.
That's good.
Right.
Good point. Tomorrow it is. You're gonna. So
I'll just eat 4 meals tomorrow instead of 3.
There you go. Hey, we'll get to NFL in a minute. Pete Thamel from Yahoo Sports, formerly the New York Times, wrote a column suggesting that Jeremy Foley should be the choice of USC. USC's trying to hire an athletic director. That's all the talk in the college sports world is who they're going to hire, because right now they've got a football coach, but everyone thinks Clay Helton's fired. He's 3-3, and that Urban Meyer's going to wind up as the coach, but nobody knows that for sure. Urban talks about how he's going to stay on TV. Apparently, he's been really good on this. I haven't watched it.
I've seen a little bit. He's really good.
They say he's been really good on this Fox show.
I've seen a little, and I was impressed.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be the
He should be good. I mean, that's his world.
Well, not everybody's good at TV.
No, but he should be.
Yeah, but apparently he's been really good at it. So, and he says he's just going to stay and stay in the TV world. So, I'll say this: there were guys like Dungy and Cower, and certainly for a while Gruden, that everybody was convinced were coming back into it and never were. Cower stood his ground, said he wasn't leaving. Cower probably could have had 10 NFL jobs or more, and he didn't do it. So we'll see if Urban does it. But anyway, the story is USC has been a disaster. They keep hiring former USC football players to be their ADs. Mike Garrett, then Pat Hayden, then Lynn Swann. And apparently some super rich booster has made that happen every time. And now finally USC's not going to do that anymore. They ran out Lynn Swann. They're going to hire a real AD. And they're talking about different names. And Thamel recommends Foley, who's 66 and retired. And who no one knows if he wants it or not. Here's what I will tell you. I do think that Jeremy knows Thamel very well. Thamel knows Urban very well. My guess is Thamel called Jeremy before he ever wrote the column. I think Jeremy probably knew the column was being written. I think Urban Meyer probably knew the column was being written. And it would not surprise me if there's something there. If they talk to Jeremy Foley about Jeremy lives in Gainesville. He's a lifelong Gator. He's from the Northeast, but he's lived in Gainesville since 1975 when he was the ticket manager, an intern in the ticket office, then the ticket manager, and then you know the story after that. Would not surprise me. And the story says, the column suggests that even if he couldn't get Urban, he could get Bob Stoops to listen. Basketball, he could get Billy Donovan to listen. He's really good friends with all those guys. He is very, very close to all those guys.
USC can have Bob Stoops. They cannot have Billy Donovan.
But would you rather him go to Kentucky and whoop you twice a year?
No, but I don't want him on any college sideline.
So, okay, you don't.
It's
So
not
you want to put a stop to that.
He can be a co-coach with Mike White, and that's it.
I was just saying, I've got bad news for you. I think he's probably coming back to the college game. In fact, I think the best bet in sports is that Billy Donovan will be back in college one day, so we'll see where. But what about it? Jeremy Foley to USC. Makes sense?
To me, it comes out of nowhere a little bit, but I will say Jeremy Foley he's the equivalent of what he does of Urban Meyer being available. I mean, there's not pick the 10 best athletic directors that aren't currently employed. The gap between Jeremy Foley and everybody else is a chasm. So it makes complete sense in regards to that. I mean, his record at Florida, across the board was astonishing. Frank, you were saying it was, I said 24 national titles, and you were like, no, I think it was actually 25.
Yeah.
That's remarkable success across the board. It would make a lot of sense for USC. I never really knew that he and Urban is going to be USC's coach,
Right.
and USC is doing everything they can to court Urban Meyer as they should. But I didn't know that they were that close.
Yeah, he and Stoops are really close, and he and Billy are almost best friends close. I think he and Urban are pretty good buddies, and I don't know that, but I think they are. And Urban would want the right AD there because you want support. If you need this money or this plan or that plan, or you got to get a kid in school that maybe before you wouldn't have gotten in school, you want your AD on your side.
Absolutely. 27 national titles in 25 years.
Yeah, 27 and 25.
That's ridiculous.
So,
Obviously, everyone knows the 3 football, the 2 basketball, but then you kind of have to count the national title that in baseball Scott Strickland gets credit for because he's the one who actually hired the coach there.
in baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, Foley hired the coach.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
you have to give. I think you have to give Foley credit for
Yeah.
that national
Yeah,
championship because Kevin O'Sullivan was hired by Jeremy Foley, not by Scott Strickland.
Jeremy Foley, by the way, has multiple footballs and basketballs under his watch. Is any AD from now until forever ever going to do that again?
No.
Well, and he hired a baseball coach who won it, like your point. So he hired a football, basketball, and baseball guy that all won national titles. No one's ever going to do that again, ever, as long as there's athletics.
Well, if LSU keeps cheating in basketball, that's a school that could get close.
Good
but
luck.
Other than that, why wouldn't he? If you read Thamel's article, it makes it seem like
why wouldn't
it would
Jeremy
be
take
perfect.
the job?
Yeah, why wouldn't this work?
Well, number one, Jeremy's got to decide what he wants to do with his life.
Sure, he may enjoy retirement.
Yeah, I talked to Jeremy for a while Friday morning, just catching up, and he's got a lot of traveling he wants to do. He said, I've got a lot of stuff I want to do. This was 4 days ago Friday, we were talking, and he said he's got a lot of things he wants to do, and he's not sure, and he's enjoying. Did he sound a little bored to me? I don't know. We didn't talk long enough to know that. I know he still helps Scott with some things. I said, what are you doing? He said, traveling, enjoying. He said, but I still help Scott. Scott will call me every now and then, and he's a Gator. He lives in Gainesville. He had a home in Atlantic Beach. I think he sold maybe. It was a second home, one of his homes here. And he's from the Northeast originally. I know he likes to get back up to Vermont and that area some. But so one question, too, because it's a good question, Lauren. One answer is, does Jeremy want to do it? Does he want to go back into the rat race? My guess is it would not surprise me. He's 66 years old. And, again, today's 66 is yesterday's 56. And he's even younger than that acting. He's in great shape. He's a workout guy. He's always in the gym. You know Jeremy. Jeremy's that he's that guy. Would he want to do it for another 4 or 5 years to get something turned around? Wouldn't surprise me. I can't imagine it not working or him not being the right guy if he wanted to do it.
Okay, that's really my question. Is if he wants to do it, why would USC not hire him? I mean, he has
I
a
can't-
sterling resume.
Right, and he's
Florida's a great academic school on top of all that.
Yeah, and ADing, being an AD, is one of the few jobs in athletics where I don't think geography factors at all. I still think coaching geography can factor a little bit, but I don't think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're from. You build your staff, and again, I think he would create a culture there that's been a disaster. Now, the basketball program could be looking at probation. They're one of the Adidas schools, aren't they? One of the ones caught up in all that. I think they are, but I can't.
Obviously, the Aunt Becky problem happened as well.
Well, she should. He'll put that. He'll get rid of that. Okay.
That problem will not exist.
Yeah, Jeremy will deal with the
much
feds
longer.
if he's got to deal with the feds. Jeremy's not afraid. So, but no, I to Lauren's question, I can't imagine it not working if Jeremy wants to do it.
And the other thing too, I agree. I mean, I think he'd be sensational. He'd be a real asset for any college. How much, in terms of that too? How much downtime do athletic directors at major universities get? Because I would imagine that you do probably get some time. It's not like you're not recruiting.
Correct.
Now, obviously, you've got to, USC, I'm assuming, has 30-something sports.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a lot of coaches that you sort of have to keep tabs on. You'll probably have searches and things like that. But assuming you're not going through a coaching search, I would think you could still do that job at a high level and still be able to go on some significant trips.
Well, an AD's off time is the same as a football coach's off time. It's the summertime because that's when no one's playing competitive athletics. But that's about it. You've got all your schools. You're also on committees and subcommittees. If you're prominent, he is. You're raising money. You're always with boosters. It's a pretty busy gig. It's not a part-time gig. It's a full-time grinding gig. But you'd have your summer. It's like any other job in college athletics that your time to get away is when nobody's playing, and that'd be the summertime.
Yeah, the problem is if you have a good baseball team and you're in Omaha in June, then athletes usually return in August to campus. Your downtime is really shortened if that's the case.
But an AD can spend most of July and part of August figuring out what he's going to do. You'd be
sure.
able
It's just you don't get like a teacher's 3 months, a full 3 months
Right.
off. It's a shortened window. But that's again if you have a good baseball.
Yeah, but I mean, he can also go if he wants to go to Switzerland for 5 days in February. You can do it. You're not coaching a team. I think that's Hayes' point, and I would agree with that. So we'll see. It's an interesting story. It really is, and I hope it happens only because he's a really good friend of mine, and I'd like to see him get one more crack at it. I mean, I think it would be cool. Jeremy and I've told this story many times, and I wrote this column on Gridiron Now when Jeremy retired that he was real influential in my career. I had been a sports writer for a lot of years and wanted to make the move. Sports radio was just coming around, and I wanted to make the move into sports radio. I wanted to do this, but I wasn't sure. At that time in the early 90s, sports writers were so much more well-respected than radio guys because radio guys looked like they didn't necessarily go to school to do it. All sports writers had gone through J school, and radio, I think sports writers and TV guys had the proper training, but radio didn't, and I didn't want to be thought of. So, I mean, I really thought about that. So I've told this story many times. Left here, was thinking about doing it. I was pretty sure I was going to leave the Times-Union and get into radio and learn how to sell it, which Jay Solomon had told me how to do it. And I said, Jeremy, I need to pick your brain. I need you to pick your brain. Picked him up at the school. He met me downstairs at the bottom of the stadium, picked him up. We drove to the Bennigan's on 34th and Archer. We've all been there. You guys have been there, right? Mm-hmm. In Gainesville, the Bennigan's on 34th and Archer. Got there about 11:45, and we probably were there for 2 hours. Talked about everything, and I said, do I do this? He said, you absolutely do it. He said, absolutely. He said, because if it doesn't work, you'll go back and be a sports writer. But if you don't try it, you'll never know. And sports radio is starting to blossom. It had been around for about 5 years. It looks like this whole sports radio thing is going to work. And you're on the front end of it. And you have the sports radio right now means selling and meeting clients and meeting people, and you have the right personality for that. And you're crazy not to do this. And so we finished up and got back in the car and drove back. And I didn't go in. I was just dropping him off. I'm like, you do this. He says, bro, I've told you 6 times. Jeremy's kind of to the point guy. Right. And I think I resigned from the Times-Union in 2 weeks. Now, that wasn't the only thing, but it was one of the factors, and we've had that talk a lot of times. So he was very influential in my career, and so
he was clairvoyant.
Yeah, well, he gave me good advice. He certainly did that. So anyway, we'll see what happens with Jeremy Foley, whether he winds up at USC. Back to the NFL for a while. Najee Goode started ahead of Quincy Williams. I thought he played pretty well. There was a lot. I tell you what, I called his name a lot, and I called his name a lot in pass coverage. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
And Doug and I talked about it Friday a little bit. I knew that's what they were going to do. They didn't want to announce it until kickoff because they didn't want to show up Quincy. They like Quincy. He's a good guy. He goes 100 miles an hour. What they were doing is they just want to just back away from it for a bit. He's still their guy. He's bigger, stronger, faster. But they wanted him just back away from it a bit, watch a little bit from the sidelines, get your head clear. We're as committed to you as we've ever been. This didn't change that. That just he got lost. He made some bad fits the week before in Carolina. Back up and get away from it and let Najee play for now. You're still the future. I thought Goode played pretty well.
I thought Goode was excellent. 6 tackles, had a sack, very active around the ball, broke up a pass to your point, Frank, and played 63 of the 66 defensive snaps. Quincy Williams didn't play a single one defensively. He was on special teams but did not play a defensive snap. So Najee Goode got his opportunity, and to his credit, really made the most of it.
And Miles Jack, I thought, played better. I didn't think Miles played very well the week before either. Neither one of those guys played. I got the sense Miles Jack played pretty well.
He absolutely played well, and they needed to because Alvin Kamara is a dangerous weapon for the Saints. And overall, though, I mean, the defense, I think, probably looked at each other last week and said, we are better than this. I think Calais Campbell kind of spoke to that. We should not ever play as poorly as we did against the Panthers. And, yeah, I mean, Miles Jack needs to be the leader on that defense, and he needs to be one of the best players out there, and I think we finally saw that yesterday.
How did you feel like Miles played?
I thought he played very well. I mean, to me, the proof was in the pudding looking at Alvin Kamara's rushing total. I mean, 31 yards on 11 carries.
Right.
I mean, Latavius Murray did some decent things, but I thought overall it was a huge improvement from what we saw in Charlotte.
Miles Jack, the starting middle linebacker, the subject of this Hayes Carlyon one-on-one.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars linebacker Miles Jack on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Outstanding effort defensively, but how disappointing is it not to get the win?
It's definitely tough. You know, obviously we played a really good team. They've been in the NFC Championship, I think, 2 years in a row, correct? So, I mean, that's a hell of a team. I thought we played well. There was times where, obviously, we should have stopped them. Like, we gave up a really long drive. But overall, I was happy. I mean, 13 points as opposed to last week. We gave up 34, you know what I mean? And the Saints are a really good team, so. And what they had, like 54 points last week or something like that. So, I mean, that's a talented team. It's just we always feel like we're better. We feel like we could do more. And it's tough, man. It's definitely tough. So, yeah, it's disappointing.
Fundamentally, what were you guys able to do so much better today?